33 years is a long time. I mean, I've got stories that I can't say in front of a camera, that were just wonderful times.
I'm talking with Richard Scofield, who is our longest tenured staff member. In fact, he has worked here longer than any staff member has ever worked at the Chesapeake Bay Maritime Museum. And we are now just days away from your retirement. And so we wanted to sit down and reflect on this a little bit. When you came to this museum, you weren't green to the marine industry. You'd been working around boats. Talk something about tell me something about how you learned the trade and where you did that.
My family had always been involved in boats up in Connecticut, and my grandfather's brother, my great uncle, had started a boatyard in Stamford, Connecticut, in the 20s. And I was hanging out there after school or on a Saturday when I was 12 years old. And the old guys had to go up a mast to get a halyard, and they didn't want to set each other up. They're all too fat, they said. And I weighed about 100 pounds, and Uncle Al said, "Rich, you want to go up in a mast?" Cool, I like heights, So I went up, that was great. I came down, and Al says, "Let's not tell Mom, let's make this our secret." He gave me about $5. Well, that was the coolest thing in the world. So from then on, after school or on a Saturday, if Al needed me, I'd go down and go up mast and do whatever. So I started rigging getting paid to rig when I was 12 years old. And I worked at Scofield's boatyard as head rigger for a couple of years, and then worked at yards around here in Higgins and a yard in City Island, New York, just picking up the trade as I went, and had the opportunity to work with some really, really good people that learned a lot.
Richard, you've dedicated your career here not only to preserving boats, but to preserving skills. And I think that I've seen how much pride you take in when you take on an apprentice. You learned from Joe Leaner, but you've also really done an awful lot to pass on those skills. And tell me something about all the apprentices that you've taken on here. I know we've had a number of year-long ones, but you had a number of summer-long apprentices before that, and that's been another, I think, really important part of your legacy here. All these former apprentices all across the United States.
Well, a number of years ago, it was pointed out to me that all the people that had taught me so much, Uncle Al and Joe Leaner and all, Jim Richardson, a lot of them passed away. That they had given their knowledge to me, and for me to take that knowledge with me and not pass it on was pretty selfish. So we developed an apprentice program that I'm extremely proud of.
You don't stick out a career in one place for this period of time without deriving some enjoyment. And can you tell me what has been your favorite part of the job or favorite moments on this job over the years? Well,
first, the ability to work on really nice boats. I mean, that as a boat builder, and boat restoration, that's what's important. They're just wonderful boats. This is a really nice place. This campus is remarkable. You come here every day, and this is where you work. I mean, really, this is pretty nice, My guys would get attitude once in a while in the boat shop, and I'd say, "Look, walk outside, look around. This is pretty good." The ability to use these boats. I mean, I enjoy building boats, restoring boats, but the ability to later then use those boats, and that's part of the job. That's a pretty cool thing. Well, there's a lot of enjoyable features working here, and obviously, I'm not a masochist. I'm not going to stick around if I don't enjoy the place, and I always have.
In nearly 33 years, so much has changed around this place. The leadership's changed, the directors and the boards, staff has changed, budgets have changed, the collection has grown, new buildings. What about this place hasn't changed? What stayed the same all through this?
When I first worked here in 1980, there were 15 people on staff, and 5 were in the boat shop. We've gone as high as 52 full-time employees, and about 10 of those were in the boat shop. I think what stayed the same is it's a feeling at this museum, it's an attitude we have to the public as teachers, but as a friendly place to be. And I work really hard to keep that attitude in the boat shop, that anyone I've hired in there has to know that you're going to work with the public, and you have to enjoy doing it. And I think ultimately that comes from R.J. Holt, who was
the director
he was
when you were
the first director of the museum. You and I are probably the only ones that probably remember R.J. Holt and worked for him. Was a great guy, but had a very approachable personality. And as he walked around the museum, even as president of the museum, would talk to anybody. And that attitude, I think, is what makes this place special, and one that I hope doesn't change.
What's next for you? Where do you turn your focus in retirement?
I've sold my own boats once in the past 3 years. So I'm going to spend some time on my boats and get them ready to go. And I have a shop at home that I work in. Obviously, I'm not going to stop working on wood. There's a lot of work on the house to be done.
Turning things on a lathe.
That will be some of it, yeah. There's some furniture Robin wants. There'll be plenty to do. And there, down the road, there may be volunteer opportunities at this museum. You never know. What I'll miss most are the people. The friendships you make here, especially working in a boat shop. A boat shop is it's kind of an organic family. And the friendships you have that I've got through the years. I got a phone call the other day from someone that worked with me 20 years ago. I haven't seen him in 20 years, but email once in a while back and forth, and he called me to say congratulations. I mean, that kind of stuff is pretty cool.